Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a fascinating Arabic economic analysis. It claims to reveal the backstage secrets of a really high-stakes deal between Egypt and Canada, a deal, it argues, that could reshape both economic and political power.
So the source material kicks things off with this really intriguing, kind of mysterious phrase. It's meant to signal that the key to Egypt's next big move, well, it isn't found in the Middle East, but thousands of miles away in North America.
And this is the central question the analysis really wants us to think about. It suggests that the secret Canadian connection holds the answer to what it calls Egypt's most ambitious and maybe its riskiest undertaking yet. Okay, let's get into it.
According to the source, this entire massive operation really hinges on one of humanity's oldest and, let's be honest, most valuable assets: gold.
Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty of the deal itself, it's really important to understand how the source views gold. We're not just talking about a shiny metal here. It's framed as the ultimate safety net, the real foundation of economic security, especially when paper currencies start to look a little shaky. It's the original hard currency.
So this slide basically lays out what the source is calling a perfect match. On one side, you've got Egypt, with all this raw, untapped gold potential. And on the other, you have Canada, which has the financial muscle and the high-tech know-how to actually get it out of the ground. It's like one has the treasure chest and the other has the key.
And this number, wow, this really shows you just how dominant Canada is in this space. According to the source, more than 60% of all the world's publicly traded mining companies are listed on Canadian stock exchanges. So if you want to play in the big leagues of mining, you pretty much have to go through Canada.
The analysis lays out a really clear four-step game plan. It's basically a roadmap. It starts with partnership and exploration, but it ends with a much bigger ambition: for Egypt to become a major hub in the global gold market, not just a country that sells the raw stuff.
So, we know the prize is gold, but here's where it gets really interesting. The source claims this whole economic strategy is only possible because of a predicted, and that's a key word, a predicted major shift in Canadian politics. Let's see how they build this argument.
Okay, this slide is pretty wild because it's entirely a political forecast from the source. It paints the current Trudeau government as a political roadblock and then bases its entire theory on a projected election outcome in 2025, one that hinges on the rise of a brand new leader.
The source creates this incredibly stark contrast. It frames Prime Minister Trudeau as a man of politics, focused on things like human rights, which it claims made the relationship complicated. Then it presents Mark Carney, a former central banker, as the man of economics, who, it predicts, will put pragmatic, business-first deals above everything else.
This quote from the analysis, it really just sums up their entire argument perfectly. It's this prediction that a new business-focused leader in Canada is the key that will unlock the door for Egypt's new strategic play.
Now, according to the analysis, this whole thing isn't just about making money. It's about geopolitics. The claim is that this gold partnership is actually a tool to counter strategic rivals and reshape Egypt's influence on the world stage. And the source is very, very explicit here, naming two main targets. It alleges that this whole deal with Canada is strategically designed to weaken the influence of both the Muslim Brotherhood and Israeli foreign policy interests in a key Western capital.
So the crucial point the analysis is trying to make here is that by building these powerful economic ties with Canadian industry, Egypt can basically use market forces to sideline its political opponents, who, in the source's view, have found Canada to be a pretty welcoming place.
This slide does a great job of capturing the strategic shift that the source is describing. It's a move away from a reactive, kind of defensive foreign policy to a really proactive one, where massive business deals are deliberately used as a primary tool of statecraft. So all of this builds toward what the source is painting as Egypt's grand strategy, using this Canadian partnership as a launchpad to turn itself into an absolutely indispensable global player in the gold industry.
And the potential here is just massive. The source claims Egypt has something like 270 known gold production sites, mostly out in its eastern desert. That represents a huge, largely untapped resource just waiting for the right investment and the right technology.
This really lays out a comprehensive vision. The analysis stresses that the goal here isn't just to dig gold out of the ground, it's to control the entire value chain, from the mining and refining all the way to creating a trading market, and even training the specialized workforce to run it all.
And look, these aren't just abstract ideas on a PowerPoint. The source points to actual, concrete projects like a new gold refinery and a planned gold city as proof that the wheels on this are already in motion. These are the physical building blocks of that ambition.
This table just makes the end game crystal clear. The source is describing a multi-phase strategy. It's designed not just to make money, but to secure a permanent and really powerful seat for Egypt in the global gold game.
And this right here is the ultimate takeaway from the source's point of view. The deal with Canada isn't the final goal, it's the catalyst. It's the key that's supposed to unlock a much larger ambition, shifting economic power and securing gold as a core strategic asset for the nation's entire future.
This quote from the source really captures the philosophy it claims is now driving Egyptian foreign policy. It's a very pragmatic, very transactional approach where mutual economic interest is the bedrock of any political relationship. It's that simple.
And that brings us to our final thought. The analysis we've just walked through today presents a world where billion-dollar mining deals in commodity markets are the new chessboards for geopolitics. It really leaves us with a big question. Is this economic playbook the future of how nations are going to compete and cooperate on the world stage?